Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lottie Dottie, and I'm in the building hanging out with Retro. Keep it locked, and don't you dare touch that dial.
Yo, what up? This is Marvin Gibson, aka Big Gip, and you are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Sell. You still keeping it 100.
Hey now, this is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
Y'all make sure y'all check out the Retro Philosophy Show on YouTube with my man Retro. Like, subscribe, comment, share, copy the link, put it on Instagram in your bio, put it on your Facebook page. Send it to your mama, text it to somebody. But y'all make sure y'all follow this page, Retro Philosophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Retro Philosophy Show, where I always listen to my man, 50 Grand, Pastor Retro. You know what it is.
Yeah, that's real. Watch out for the people who can pinpoint everything that's wrong about you. But when it comes to correcting themselves, the pen don't work. Listen to me. Talk that talk, George. Real recognize real, the fake don't fly together. You gotta stay prayed up because it's too real out here. Watch the people in your circle. Never eat with the people you starve with, and never ride with the people you walk with. Stay true and stick to your crew. Now that's big dog talk. Big speaker. Yeah, that's real.
Yo, what's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. You already know what it is. It's your boy Retro in the building. And we got a show lined up for you on tonight, man. We're talking about the Chitlin Circuit and beyond. Oh, you got to make some noise. If you don't know what the Chitlin Circuit is, then you have tuned into the right show. You need to go ahead and hit the share button because somebody else needs to find out what the Chitlin Circuit is all about. I ain't talking, well, we'll get into that in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. So without any further ado, man, we are privileged to have two very distinguished gentlemen joining us on the show tonight. This is not an interview. Come on, somebody. Let me say that one more time. This is not an interview, but they are serving. They are playing as co-hosts on tonight, and we're just simply going to sit back and we're going to kick it. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's welcome to the Retro Philosophy Show two gentlemen that are no strangers. And if you don't know them, then climb out from underneath your rock and wake up. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's make some noise. Kodak, the ground pounder, and Big Frizz in the building. What's going on, gentlemen? Come on, man. You already know what it is, man.
Good.
Oh, man. Glad to have you guys on the show tonight. Been checking you guys out, been watching you. Well, we're going to keep it a buck tonight, guys. We're going to keep it 100. We're going to tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
I cannot lie to my spiritual advisor. You know that.
Well, since we in the spirit of telling the truth, look here, gentlemen, I'm a fan of both of y'all. Let's make some noise. All right, so yeah, like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the share button and make sure, you know what, as a matter of fact, we even got the telephone line open tonight because someone may want to ask a few questions, get some insight, because we got two serious ground pounders in the building on tonight. Kodak, go ahead and introduce yourself to those who are watching who might be hiding on the rock somewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the back porch about to hit this Kodak special, sit down and chit chat. And if I shed a tear, don't take it personal. I'm still rough and tough, but sometimes I get emotional,
Okay.
especially when I'm looking at this little young cat over there that saved my life on more than one occasion.
On more than one occasion. Okay.
More than
So
one occasion.
more than one occasion. All right. All right. So we're gonna find out about that. So, Big Frizz, go ahead and introduce yourself to those that are watching.
Man, y'all know what it is. It's just me, regular old Big Frizz, red breed or nothing.
I think y'all
Red
got
breed or nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Motorcycling like Sarge says, you dig?
Keep it motorcycling, you dig? I hear y'all got a slogan, something like breed up or speed up or something like that. I think that y'all be
Green up and
saying.
speed up. That's
Okay,
it.
okay, just check it, just check it. All right, so where we're gonna start, guys. Tonight we're talking about the Chitlin Circuit. So maybe we ought to jump in right there, just in case somebody is saying, "What in the world is a Chitlin Circuit?" Kodak.
Hmm. Chitlin Circuit.
Uh-huh.
Something I came up with when I was riding around after about 2 years of seeing the same people doing the same thing. And a group of people I know like to call it tradition. And
Tradition.
there's nothing wrong with tradition because without tradition, we wouldn't have these rules and these bylaws and all these other stuff going on back in the
Okay.
motorcycle world.
Okay.
But in my mind, if you only see the same people, if I can wake up on a Saturday morning, eat breakfast at home, ride for under 2 hours, maybe get a tank of gas, stand around, parking lot pimp, see the same people I've been seeing since I got out the army,
Mm-hmm.
and then be back at home and eat dinner at my own house, and that's all I see is the same people over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You stuck in the Chitlin Circuit.
The
It's like
Chitlin Circuit.
the Twilight Zone. You already know what's gonna happen when you get there.
Yeah.
You know who's gonna be there,
Uh-huh.
and you know what you're gonna do while you're there. So there's no surprise. There's no there's nothing that's gonna strain you out. You already know
Mm-hmm.
what it is. No surprise.
Right, right,
There's
right.
no strength in it. You just stuck. There's nothing to worry about. You don't. Hey, I told this to Frizz when we was on the road. You don't need a road captain when you're in the Chitlin Circuit.
So you don't need you don't need a road captain when you're in the Chitlin Circuit. Okay, okay,
Anybody
okay,
can take you there. They was there last year. You already know where you're going.
okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. Big Frizz, what's your take on the Chitlin Circuit?
Man, hey, Kodak, the one that brought that up on the ride, that had me rolling. I was
Yeah.
like, man, what you keep talking about the fitness circuit? He's like, it's almost like insanity. You keep doing the same old, expecting a different result.
Uh-huh.
It ain't gonna happen. And
Ain't gonna
man,
happen.
hey, the Chitlin got some. They got some people eyes wide shut.
Yeah. So at what point does a motorcyclist break out of the Chitlin Circuit syndrome?
You got to be challenged.
Okay.
That part.
You got to be challenged.
Uh-huh.
First of all, you got to realize that everybody's not doing the same thing. Only the people that you know in your small circle is doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But once you see something different, like Maya Angelou say, when you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
But once you see something, you see other folks doing it, and then you challenge yourself. You say, well, maybe I can do it.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
just leave the Chitlin Circuit and try something different. And show as the day is long, you surprised that there's other people out here doing more than what we're doing. Different ways, different type of
So
money. As Big Sarge say, it's a different type of get down.
it's a different type of get down. It's a different type of get down. And he says top of the evening, gentlemen. So Big Sarge is in the building. Let's make some
Yeah,
noise for
what's
Big
up,
Sarge
Big
in the
Sarge?
building. Out there making it do what it do. That I-10 to the end, that Iron Elite, that Titan. Come on, man. Let's make some proper noise for Big Sarge. Yeah. So real
Hey,
quickly, just
so we joke around with that
uh-huh.
Chitlin circuit,
Yeah.
and not to sound crude or rude to anybody that's out here riding. Amongst in the community, we throw around that term ground pounders and stuff, right?
Okay.
And we got individuals who we always say ride your ride, do what you can do. This is more or less just to motivate those individuals that would get stuck doing the same old. And that's all they know until they had that person that's like, yo, have you been here? Have you done that?
Mm-hmm.
Get you spinning. Like, yeah, the Chitlin Circuit is real. Like, you can stay around your area and ride a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but what are you doing? Like,
Right.
that gets old. Come over here and see
What do you see? Well, yeah, what have somebody tuned the PA said, yeah, you did 1,000 miles in
Mm-hmm.
24 hours, but what did you see?
What
What
did you
did you
see?
see?
Yeah.
What did you do? What did you see? Who did you meet that's different? What did you learn?
Yeah. I'm gonna throw a shameless plug in there for my homegirl, Bussy, because I watch her when she get on ground and she get ready to go to Alaska, from what I understand, on her Busa, right? But Bussy will get on her motorcycle, whichever one she get on, and she'll knock out her, 3, 4, 500 miles, 6, whatever miles she do for the day or whatever. And then you gonna find her feet up on somebody's coffee table with some flip flops on or whatever. But everywhere she goes, she got people where she's stopping and she's chilling with. And for me, I think that ought to be the new narrative. Not that you don't got your bread to get your hotel or whatever, but you are taking advantage of those miles that you're out there collecting, and you're establishing friendships and relationships, and all over the place. So it's like you almost can't slide through without hollering at your folk, because they're gonna feel some kind of way.
Right.
Networking.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I always say collecting miles and smiles. Um, so we got Rashad. He's in the building. He said, "What's the Chitlin Circuit challenge?" I don't know if there's a Chitlin Circuit challenge, but any of you guys wanna address that question?
The Chitlin Circuit
Mm.
challenge is simply getting out of your comfort zone. Do something different that you haven't done before.
Okay, okay. Do something.
Majority, a lot of the people that we ride with are in clubs, right?
Yeah.
And in these clubs, we tend to do the same thing each year. We've got a certain amount of mandatory rides we know we need to go on. We got
Mm-hmm.
certain chapters we know we're gonna go and break bread with. We got certain other social clubs or other clubs that we know that got events that we're gonna do. And it's about the same time frame each year, and you get stuck doing that same old route. Hey, this month we going over here to mess with them. This month we going over there to mess with them, and it's gonna be the same thing next year,
Yeah.
right? But in between that time, don't just be stuck doing that. Like, go see something else. Go do something else. Go somewhere.
That's
Or
powerful.
miss one of those functions if possible,
Mm-hmm.
if you're able to.
Yeah.
And do something else that'll make some people change their mind. Like, well, shoot, that looked like a good idea to go over there. Let's go do that instead.
Right. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up right there. Networking is extremely important. So often we see people do things that we haven't done yet, and sometimes people will say, it don't take all that," or they'll downplay it. I know this one particular person, and he would downplay certain things. But the reason why he was downplaying it, because truth be told, he didn't think that he could do it. You know what I mean? And so how important is it, not just for us or for you to get out there and get these miles, but to let other people see and know that they can do it too? How important is that to you guys?
Very important. Very important. Because
Mm-hmm.
really, unless you see something being done, the majority of people won't attempt to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just scared at the fact that hasn't been done. Maybe it can't be done.
Okay.
Instead of being a person to try it and be like, to see if it can be done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
That's the believe it or not, that's Big Sarge's formula for the I-10 to the
For
end.
the I-10 to the
I
end.
was just when you sent me that link, I was sitting around some bros at the Library Cigar Lounge, and we was talking about the very same subject.
Mm-hmm.
Big Sarge's formula is, first of all, you got to do it. That's
You got
number
to do
one.
it. Mm-hmm.
Then you might have to do it again because
Mm-hmm.
doing it once is a fluke. You can do
But
it once, but then you got to do it again. But once they see you doing it on a regular basis,
right.
then you go ahead and say, hey, I challenge you to do it. And in Big Frizz case, you say, I challenge you to do it with me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
After they meet the challenge, then the next step is you congratulate them in public and say, hey, I challenged this guy. He met the challenge. Here's his pat on the back. I don't care if it's a cigar, notification in front of everybody else, or just a pat on the back. This dude met the challenge. Let's give him big ups. All you got to do is that it's gonna start taking off like wildfire. It's just natural. Somebody else want to do it. Somebody else want to get congratulated. Somebody else want to meet the standard, but they just don't know the route. They don't know what the challenge is. Just like the guy said, what is the Chitlin Circuit challenge? There's not really a challenge. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. That part right there. So, all right. So we are, you guys are both in clubs, but would you say you ride beyond? Well, I don't know. Maybe it might be a little different with well, shoot, both of y'all clubs is out there pounding for real. So I mean, but my question was, you guys are pounding beyond just a MC set. What is the difference between motorcycling and MCing?
You got to sit back in the chair for that one. Dang.
Oh boy. So
And let me change the verbiage.
Okay.
I tell people all the time I'm not a biker.
Okay.
I don't consider myself a biker. We talk about protocol, we talk about tradition, we talk about mandatories. All those things to me are restrictions. So I didn't buy a white Road Glide to sit around in the parking lot with everybody else with a black Road Glide.
Well, rumor is you bought a white Road Glide because white Road Glides do things that black Road Glides won't. That's what I heard somebody say.
White bikes do things that black bikes don't do. I'm telling you, they don't.
That's what I heard. I'm not really sure what that means, but that's what I heard.
White bikes do things that black bikes don't do. But with that being said,
okay,
I don't consider myself following the norm where I'm only going to do the same thing that I've done last year. That my life is too short for that. I'm 60 years old. I met a guy, and this is just jumping around. I met a guy when we was out there. He was with his wife, and we started chopping it up. He seen me working on the bike. We was in Fairbanks. And we had just got back, and we was cleaning mud off our bike. And he started talking. He said, "Where you guys from?" And after we told him where we was from and how far we rode, he said, "One day I want to do that." I said, I said, "When you gonna do it?" He said, "Well, I got this going on. I got kids. I'm running a business. My wife got this. I just don't have time on my schedule." I looked at him. I said, "If the doctor told you you was going to die in 90 days, would you make time?" He said, "Yes." I looked at him. I said, "Well, act like you're going to die and take advantage of it now because I don't know when I'm going to die.
Wow.
But before I die, I want to make sure I get everything out of my system that I can." Like I told Big Frizz, I'm trying to impress myself.
Okay.
I'm trying to impress myself right now.
That part. Trying to impress yourself. What about you, Big Frizz?
Man, I tell people all the time, you make time for what you want to do.
What's important? What's important?
Yeah.
So anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. That part right there. What I love, because I see we got Hero Benson, the original OG in the building. And
the masked man,
you know what I mean? And but when Kodak, as a matter of fact, you said this a couple of years ago on the topic of what is an OG, and you said one that offers guidance. In that regard, do we have enough OGs on the scene?
You do.
Okay.
You do. It's just like my man Hero Benson. I told him several occasions, I'm coming to Texas to come break bread with him. Because I know how everybody I ride around with think. I know how a couple of Jews from Rare Breed think. But I don't know the history of the masked man because he done some stuff. I see his pictures and everything, but I want to hear his story. I want to hear his testimony. I want to go to Texas, sit down and break bread with him and give him my undivided time and just listen and see what he got to say because there's there's something in it from everybody. You got to
Okay.
get, and it ain't just us. It's I don't want to say us and them, but we not the only ones doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of cats doing this.
Right. But if we stay within the Chitlin circuit, we won't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
You said
Mm-hmm.
you said this, Kodak. You said if you knew how to, you would take ground pounder off your status. Why did you say such a statement?
This is before the ride. I can't pick this. This is before this.
He's certified now. He good. He can keep it up there.
Okay.
When I went to the taco run in Lawton, Arizona, the taco run. That's like a pre-party for um the hookah hay.
Okay.
Everybody in there walking around with a hookah hay vest on. I'm invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows me outside the Chitlin Circuit.
Gotcha.
So when I got there, they looking at me like, "Who's this bum? Why is he standing here?" And he's in the way of us getting tacos. But all of those people was outright me,
Mm-hmm.
to include old ass white women
Mm-hmm.
on diners. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, we put big on handlebars, big rims on cars, big music on cars, but when it comes to actually riding, I've seen a dude with an external tank on his bike.
Mm.
Bike set up for nothing but riding. And them guys ride, you know, what they call the ironbud ride, the hookah hay ride.
Mm-hmm.
They got a bunch of rides that we never even heard of, and those guys is actually getting it in. They're not doing the same thing. They're not going to the same place. They're making it do what it do.
Yeah. So we just got to get outside of, not to beat that same dead horse, but I say it this way. We got to get out of that same old mentality of just going here and then back to the clubhouse and then here and back to the clubhouse. So you guys just knocked out an epic ride. Tell me a little bit about that ride and how that came about.
Woo,
So
woo,
the
woo,
ride originally,
woo.
we were gonna do. So Breed's done this trifecta, and he came
Uh-huh.
up with a quadfect ride. So there's some stipulations with each one of those about how many people are supposed to be on it,
Okay.
how many chapters, and stuff are supposed to go, how many states you can go across by yourself. Like there's a whole bunch of stipulations. So
Yeah.
when we originally put the thing together, we weren't reaching the numbers that we needed to be able to make it successful. For whatever reasons it was,
Mm-hmm.
people couldn't do it, didn't want to do it, whatever. So uh, Big Brother PJ had made a statement. Well, let's do something epic, anyways. And had started talking about going up into Canada and possibly touching Alaska again. And I made a statement like, if I go to Alaska, I want all of Alaska. Like, I'm not just gonna go over there and I'm not gonna try. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going over there and not trying to get all of it because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna go to Alaska is.
Okay.
How that ride felt,
Yeah.
how many times we're going across this, this country. So that was put into the works. All right, so let's do the four corners. We're gonna knock out the four corners.
Mm-hmm.
We started talking about the northern and southern buoys. It was like, all right, we'll pick the buoys up.
Okay.
And then going to Alaska, it was known, okay, we're going to do Fairbanks, North Pole, Anchorage, and Prudhoe Bay.
Whew.
So
How long
we
did it
started
take you
to
guys to
work.
plan the trip?
We got what we got to bite, and that's what we took off with.
Okay. How long were you guys planning the trip before you actually executed?
Well, we've been probably good 2 months.
Okay.
3 months. 3 months.
It was 3 months.
3 months. Yeah.
Zoom calls
It was
and
a.
stuff.
It was you guys was already doing it a month before I started getting online with you guys because they was doing a meeting was it every Monday or every Tuesday they was doing a Zoom meeting.
Like every Tuesday, every Tuesday, every couple of weeks. It was like every 2 weeks we'd get together or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And how many days did you plan for the trip, and how many days did it actually take to execute the whole trip?
Well, we originally said like 20. I think we planned for like 27, 28 days or something like that because our biggest goal was trying to finish the trip and make it to our mother chapter annual.
Nice. All right. And so how many days did it actually take for you guys to execute?
We actually finished about a week early.
Oh, okay.
We
Okay.
we finished a week early, but time on the road, I was away from my house on the road for 36 days.
36 days. Now, when you say
So
finish, you're
yeah,
talking about
California.
what's the finish line
Yeah,
in California?
the,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
finish line was
San
LA Rare Breed thing, but we did that in what you say a week early. We finished that a week early,
Okay.
but we
Okay.
still had to stay in Rare Breed. We still had to stay in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I spent after that a night with my son and 2 nights with my mama before I started pushing my way back home.
Gotcha.
So from start to finish, I was on the road 16,000 miles in 36 days.
Okay. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me do this right. Here we go. Yeah, that's some pounding right there. Now that's some pounding right there. So, how many launched out? And because from what I understand, different brothers came from different areas of the country. Correct?
Correct.
All right. So let's talk
So
about that a little bit. How many guys altogether did the trip?
what was it? Six of us originally,
Okay.
and we all merged in down in Homestead,
Okay.
Yep.
Florida, just north of Key West. Um, that's where we all linked up, and then the first point was going to Key West, obviously. So
Right.
um, further on in the trip, we lost one and gained one. So
Okay.
yeah, but we started. It started with six of us.
And how did we lose one? Can we talk about that, or we just gonna?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So how did we lose one? What happened there?
So one of my big brothers, he had some medical issues with his back.
Okay.
Uh, Understandably, at his rightful age of 74, that's my dog right
That's
there.
that's
Big
that's
side
that's crazy. That is
Hey,
crazy.
let,
big side of our
let,
Jacksonville chapter.
Yeah, and he
Uh,
let me
rides
tell
that
you
bike
something.
too.
he ride that
Hey,
joke.
He
that's the
rides
most
that thing.
that that's the most courageous cat I know.
Man, listen.
Czar from Jacksonville Rare Breed.
He need to
He
hit that button
hit
for him one time. He needed applause on
hey
that.
hit that.
Yeah.
He
So
will.
Czar started off with a bad back. He was supposed to go have back surgery before he left.
Mm, mm,
He was
mm.
already scheduled for back surgery.
Wow.
74 years old, back was already hurting, and I think we was doing good till we went to that buoy, the that first buoy in Minnesota. We were doing good until, and I think that route on the dirt wasn't but 40 miles in, 40 miles out.
Okay.
But it probably took us 4 hours to get 40 miles in. We stopped, got gas, broke bread, and then came back out. That was the beginning of, ooh, what did I get myself into?
Let me see what Preach is saying. He says, honestly, I think when it comes to the epic rides, it's of you don't know what you don't know. We ride
Don't
within our
know.
comfort zones, i.e., the Chitlin Circuit, but let the bike finance be right. I think there are several that can ride with the best distance riders in the world. That part right there, I couldn't agree any more, man. Let's make some noise for Preach Breed in the building. So let me say this. So we okay. So Czar had some medical issues, so he had to go back home. And then what happens from there? Well, you picked up one.
So now let's not get it twisted neither, because we gotta go back and see how far Big Bro made it.
Okay.
Big Czar ain't come off the ride until we forced him off the ride up in Alberta, Canada.
Wow.
We had to vote him off. Had to vote him
He
off.
had,
That
he had to
this
get
was
voted off the
hey
island.
hey. This was after he got an ambulance ride and went to the emergency room. We had to call the ambulance. They came and picked him up out of the hospital and took him to the emergency room. and we was thinking, well, we ain't gonna see Zara no more.
Yeah.
So we all laying in the bed thinking
Uh-huh.
that we're not gonna see it no more. We started planning on figuring out how to get his bike home. About 9 o'clock at night, he walked back in the room like a brand new man with a brand new back.
He's ready to finish. He was ready to finish.
He was ready to finish.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey, he
yeah.
bumped in the room saying, "What y'all doing? Let's go."
Yeah, 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 yeah. He a G for real though. He a G for real, man. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
That
man.
part right there. So did you guys have the conversation about if my bike breaks down, did you have the leave me or leave me not conversation? How was that approach? Because you guys got guys coming from all over. So what was y'all's approach for that whole topic?
We did. We had an understanding before the ride that we would allow so many days for breakdowns, and if your bike or you became to the point where you were unable to continue the trip, that the rest of the trip will continue to go on without you. We will make whatever we'll take care of whatever needs to be taken care of in regards to getting you to a safe location, your bike to a safe location, and we get you back to home or whatever. But the trip's going to continue to go on.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
That was even brought up because, like I said, it was a breed ride. We had some non-breed affiliates obviously with us, and that was brought up. You're inviting this individual with you. If that individual is not able to continue, does that end your ride? And we had to have that conversation.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you Big Frizz brought me on and then my bike and me had an issue, you were would that end your ride or how did that work?
No,
I want to make sure I understand you good.
So like I said, so Kodak came with me,
Okay.
right? So Kodak was my invite for this ride, and we had that conversation. It was like, something happens to your bike or you're not able to continue on or whatever, we'll take care of you to get you in a safe location, a safe spot, and make sure you're able to get back to home. But the ride's going to continue to go on.
Right.
And vice versa. If something would have happened to me, even though he was invited, he's able to continue. I'm coming back to the house and you continue on with the rest of the group. We all grown out here.
We all grown. And some stuff is just out of your control, man. It's not that you didn't prep. It's not that you didn't prepare, because you guys had some bike issues on there that you guys couldn't have necessarily prepared for. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the roughest part of the trip? We're leaving out of the States. You guys left from Key West and went straight for the buoy up north?
We
went to Maine.
Yeah.
Yep. So
we went straight up. We went straight up 95 till we got to Maine.
Right.
America's first mile. That was the second corner.
Okay.
We did that. Then we crossed over from Maine into that first province of Canada, right above America's first mile.
Okay. Yeah. And then took Canada straight across. Y'all rode all the way across Canada to get to Alaska.
So we only came back in the U.S. one more time in Minnesota for the Northern Buoy.
Gotcha. Wow.
And then went right back into Canada and continued to cross the Canada highway.
Any issues crossing the border? Y'all didn't have any problem with your bazooka and your and all that kind of stuff that you had in your left saddlebag or nothing like that?
No. Thankfully, no. we made it through, no problems. We had one of our club bros. He came up. We met him in Alberta, Canada, but he came up by himself through the States. He had an issue at the border coming through by himself with his cut on and stuff. They got stopped, but with us as in a group, they didn't bother us. There was a question about one bike or somebody's ID, something didn't come up or something like that. We got held up at the first border crossing for like 20-30 minutes, but it was nothing.
Okay.
So in our planning process, when we was having these Zoom meetings, we all agreed that we was gonna bring no weapons across the border. Anything we could do to stop us from crossing the border, we eliminated it. So 36 days, no weapon.
Yeah.
So we all agreed to that. So that was one of the things we do to eliminate the risk of being caught up.
That part. That's what's up. So anything, any eventful things as you guys was traveling through Canada?
In what aspect?
Any aspect.
Mm, No, I mean we had other times. Canada was really, I think, the beginning of like all our major tests. We
Okay.
had a couple of flats, brake issues. Um, you
Ran out
starting
of
to see people,
gas.
you're starting to see people's aggravation with how much time we're spending on the road or how many stops we're making and stuff. Like Canada is where it really started to set the trip started to set in Canada.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But also, I mean, Canada. I think I had probably the most fun in Canada because my bike didn't go down yet.
Okay.
But
Okay.
being able to
Okay.
stop and see some things, spend some time in Montreal and Quebec and stuff like that. Being able to go sightsee and see some things. You're on a trip and not just blowing through. Um, so we got to spend some time in Montreal and stuff like that, and do some sightseeing and stuff. So that was fun.
Okay. That's what's up. So tell me a little bit about this picture here, the signposts.
So Kodak think he can reach to the top of all these signs and put his sticker up. So I had to start waiting until he put
Well,
his
he's the
sticker up
tallest guy in
before
the
I put
group, so you
mine
would
up.
think he would be able to, you know.
I had to start waiting until he put his sticker up before I put mine up, just to see how high I need to put mine, so I was above him. So that's why I pulled
Okay.
my bike underneath the sign and stood on that to get it up there high.
Nice, 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 nice. Now, so what is it with bikers wanting to leave stickers on signs and everywhere they can? What's the deal with that?
Oh, man, man, that is that to me is one of the highest compliments.
Okay.
Um, I started, once again, I learned it from K Solo. Whenever I go somewhere and I see a sign, I'm thinking,
Hmm.
oh, let's take a picture in front of this sign. And I'm thinking, well, I'm probably the first person to come here. And I see all these stickers up there. And inevitably, whatever sign I go to, there's always a picture of K Solo. It's his stickers on that sign. And I said to myself, I need to start getting me some stickers.
Yeah, yeah,
And from
yeah.
that point on, I'm on my fourth generation of stickers now. I need to come up with some stickers so I can put on there. And then it's times where I get a text message from somebody or I see a Facebook post and somebody has taken a picture of my sticker and said, hey, I seen you was here already.
Okay,
That to
okay.
me let me know that I meant something at that point in time. I was recognized for being someplace that somebody else left the Chitlin Circuit and they seen that I was already there.
That part right
Almost
there.
like leaving it, almost like leaving a small legacy. Yeah, he
Okay,
was
Yeah,
already there.
okay, okay. That's what's up. What about you, Big Frizz?
especially in this community, like I said, this you start talking to people and conversing. Like, yeah, you see him and you hear him on the internet. Then the ride somewhere, it might be in your town. You just drive by a sign and you see a person you knew, like, oh, they were here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a little token, like you said, a little token you leave behind, saying you've been someplace.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, um, Kodak and Frizz, this was your first time traveling to Canada, right? Excuse me, not Canada, but Alaska.
It was my first time, yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
Okay, and was it your
yes.
first time in Canada, Big Frizz?
No,
Okay,
my that would be my first time on the bike. Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Kodak, I think you've been back there, up there to see what last year, year
Lost
before,
Gypsies.
Lost Gypsies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Went up there to see them. Then one time before, my wife and I went up there just to take a picture. We went through Detroit and went to
mm-hmm.
Canada one time just on a vacation.
Yeah,
And we seen the edge. We seen the edge of Canada through Detroit off of 74. Spent the night, maybe 1 or 2 nights, and came on back in.
nice, 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 nice. So let's jump into Canada. We come across Canada, nothing really too eventful, good time. The trip is starting to set in. How did you guys feel as you was approaching the Alaska border?
So let me start with my ignorance first.
Okay.
I even though I was paying attention to the meetings, I wasn't really paying attention to the meetings. I'm just thinking we're gonna ride to Canada, ride to Alaska, and come back.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to my man K Solo. Every step of the way, every day, I got a text, a call, a message from K Solo. Watch out for this. Don't do that. Watch out for this. Don't do that. Same thing with snacks. She would call me and text me. When I post something, she'll post a picture and say, hey, like that, the sign farm that we went through. I
Yeah.
never heard of that.
Okay.
She dropped a pin and said, when you get to the Dalton Highway, stop at this location. I sent it to Frizz because he was in the front. He said,
Mm-hmm.
word. We stopped over there. It's like, look at all these stickers. Look at all these places that we've been and we never heard of. But because of people that's already gone, has already seen us, they was coaching us along the way and say, stop, do this, stop, do that. And, you know, what's his name? Queso was the first one to say, don't just go to Hyder, whatever it's called, and turn around and don't come back. Don't just go to the Dalton Highway and turn around and just come back. For you and I, matter of fact, from all we are in North Carolina, that's
Mm-hmm.
like leaving North Carolina, crossing over into South Carolina, 95, then
Mm-hmm.
go to Bucky's and come back and say I've
Right.
been to South Carolina.
Right.
It's,
Right. 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 Yeah.
damn it, if you're gonna go, go.
If you're gonna
If you're
go,
gonna
go.
go through it, go see the whole thing.
Yeah. That's what's up. Don't leave nothing on the table.
Don't leave nothing on the
So
Don't
you
do
got.
it, because
So.
I ain't coming back.
What you mean? That's it for you, Kodak? You ain't going back to Alaska? What about you, Big Frizz?
I'm ready. I'd go again.
You
In a
do it again?
heartbeat.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So let's talk about this then. Kodak said he won't do it. You said you would. What would you guys change about this epic ride that you guys took? Is there anything you would change?
A couple of things. So, I mean, I think there'd be two different ways that I would go about it. Um, One, I could either change how the bike was loaded at a certain point, or
Okay.
two, I could just change the whole entire bike type.
Okay.
So if we're talking doing the entire route that we did, I'd probably just change how the bike was loaded. Meaning,
Okay.
when we got to Fairbanks, I would book a hotel room in Fairbanks for multiple days, take everything off the bike that I don't need to go to the top of Dead Horse, to go to Dead Horse and come back. If I was just doing that Alaska portion, going up to the top and back, oh man, it would be a ball to do that ride on a Pan America.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't let Big Frizz go by itself.
Okay.
If
Okay.
if I had to go again, it got to be on the Pan America.
Okay.
If I had to go again, it got to be on the Pan America. And Frizz and I are not equally yoked. He can ride all day and all night. I can't. I ain't no good after 9 o'clock. I kept telling him that. I'm no good after 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
If I did it, I would just start. I would just start. Dalton Highway, run it to Fairbanks, like you say, get another room, stay there.
Hmm.
But that 500 miles on the Dalton Highway, I think we could have broke that up
Okay.
because we rode with a bunch of cats that went halfway up and they stayed at that what's that gas station we went to, Frizz, when it was closed at 4 in the morning. I begged us to stay. They didn't want to stay. Um, we could have stayed there. Yeah, Coldfoot. We could have stayed in Coldfoot, got some rest, got up, finished the ride, did what we need to do in Dead Horse, and come back to Coldfoot, get some more rest, and then come on back in because, like my man said, we finished 5 days early.
Yeah.
But these young Thundercats, they want to run the whole 1,000 miles.
Not the Thundercats.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
So I mean, you put it like it was almost like weighing the pros and the cons of staying another day or 2 days in the
Mhm.
middle of that route, or just embracing the suck and getting it over with,
Okay.
and doing it. Yeah, you could have done it the way Kodak just said, but what we were presented with, we are there at a time frame where the sun don't set, so you got 24 hours light.
Yeah.
right? So visibility ain't an option or ain't a
An
problem,
issue. Yeah.
right? Fatigue may be, but shit, you know you as well as I know that when you ride and if you forget fatigue, you stop, get off that bike, walk for a little bit, open your eyes, whatever. You can push another, a little good stretch. So
Okay.
we just continue to do that. Hey,
Yeah.
if you feel drowsy in the least bit, we gonna stop and look at some flowers, pimping.
Mm-hmm.
But we gonna continue to move though.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so and that's what we did. And I think ultimately making that decision with that in mind was probably our best choice because you got to think where we would be staying and where we did stay. Uh, the conditions ain't the greatest, like that people really don't want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
man,
bougie. That's bougie
the
people. That's bougie. That's bougie young Thundercats that don't mind riding out there because you got to think about it. The sun didn't go down for 6 days.
Wow.
The sun didn't probably before we got to the point that said the Alaskan pipeline, the Alaskan highway.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, the sun was up. Where was we at before that? The sun was up. So we didn't see
we got
darkness.
to once we came out of the Yukon, really, uh, driving to
Yeah,
Fairbanks. I think we got to Fairbanks on like a Tuesday or something like that. So that night there was no sunset, and then so we were at Fairbanks overnight. Tuesday, I
I
think from
think Fairbanks
Tuesday
was
to
a Friday. I think
the
Fairbanks
following
was
Wednesday, I
a
think it was. There was no sunset.
Mm. Wow.
yeah. So even though the sun didn't go down, my body timer was telling me it's time to take a nap. It's time to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's nighttime for me, even though the sun was up.
Right.
So these young Thundercats, I'm in the room sleep. These young Thundercats at 2 o'clock in the morning, they outside eating and hi hee hee and giggling, and I'm trying to get some sleep. And then we got to get up at 5 in the morning and leave.
Was his age showing Frizz?
It was showing that joker looked like he needed to take a nap. He wanted to go to
Woo.
sleep.
Yeah.
Oh man, he did everything short of crying.
So
I
do
did.
this for me, gentlemen. Share with me and the listening audience a little bit of wisdom as to how to deal with one of your bros, whether invite or one of your club brothers, who are having a clash because of riding styles or abilities or whatever. How do you handle that? At the spur of the moment. Talk to me.
Motivation,
You got to trust.
understand.
Yeah, you got to trust that little young cat. You know what I told you? OG stand for offer guidance.
Yeah.
It's not limited to cats that's older than you because Frizz is an OG. Of course, he's younger than me. I got kids his age, but
Mm-hmm.
Frizz is an OG because he offered me motivation and guidance.
Wow.
So I had to just, as they say, stop complaining and just
Mm-hmm.
suck it up and drive on.
Okay.
I mean
Okay.
that last little bit coming out of Coldfoot back that night. As I said, we did the math. We left out of there 12 o'clock midnight, but the sun was up.
Mm-hmm.
I begged them cats to stay. They didn't want to stay. So we started pushing in. And he said, I know you're tired. I know you don't want to do it. If you get sleepy, we're going to pull over and stop.
Yeah.
If you get tired, we're going to pull over and stop. We probably stopped 20 times coming back
Mm-hmm.
just to do 250 miles. We left at 12 midnight. We didn't check into the hotel till 9 o'clock the next day.
Mm.
Of course, when we checked in the hotel, I took a shower and went to sleep. Them
Mm-hmm.
cats is up playing patty cake, washing bikes and washing clothes and taking pictures like they
Yeah.
wasn't even tired. I was like, what's
Nah,
going
nah,
on with you?
nah. They was good. They was good. They was good.
Now I was tired as all get out, but man, it's something funky with like how you be tired, but it'd be just daylight out. So it's like
Throwing
you
you off.
shouldn't. Yeah, it's like almost like when you come home in the middle of the workday for lunch or whatever, you able to sneak home, get lunch. You dog tired,
Yeah.
but it's still daylight out. You got to go back to work.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Felt like
Yeah.
it's still daylight out. I'm supposed to be up.
That's what's up. So you guys had a couple bikes to go. Matter of fact, I think every bike went down with the exception of one. Is that correct?
Uh, No, every bike went down mechanically. But
Okay.
as
Okay.
far as
So every bike had an
laying
issue.
laying on its side, yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me about
So,
some of the issues that you guys had.
here's a. It started back in the United States with flat tires.
Okay.
That was the first one.
So, yep. So with the flat tires, and this is where the disconnect came in at.
Okay.
We left Norm. We had 27, 25 days. So we had 8 days for breakdown. That was in the
Okay.
plan. We had 8 days for breakdown. So when Frizz got a flat tire in Miami, we got on the ground, whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoop, put a plug in it, got to the next dealership. We spent 3, 4 hours at the dealership. No problem. We just 4 hours behind. That wasn't even for that shit. That plugged in hole because we was in the mud.
Yeah.
That plugged in hole because we was in the mud.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But the first flat tire, it put us back 3 or 4 hours. No problem. We ate.
Okay.
We pushed on to the next stop. We supposed to go to Savannah. Before we got to Savannah, Czar got a flat tire.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, we going to Savannah. I'm thinking we gonna sleep in late because we just got up 2 days in a row at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we gonna sleep in late and wait till Savannah Harley open up and go get a new tire, Savannah Harley.
Yeah.
No, not these young Thundercats. These cats they looked at the clock, they looked at the time, they looked at the distance. That's what Frizz did.
Yeah.
He said at 9 o'clock in the morning,
Uh-huh.
we can be in Florence at Blackjack.
Yeah.
I said, okay. We left again at 6 o'clock in the morning. Luckily, my wife lived in Fayetteville, so she met us down in Florence at Blackjack, and we was there for 4 more hours.
Okay.
So in my mind, I'm thinking we got 4 hours this day, 4 hours this day. We only 8 hours out of the 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
Surely it can't be no rush. Oh my God, we still pushing. Where did we go to? That second night we was up in D.C., Maryland, somewhere.
We got to Virginia. Yeah, forget exactly where we go.
Yeah.
We went Fort Washington, Maine. Yeah,
But
somewhere in that D.C., Maryland area.
yeah. So how
Yep.
much?
I think it was Fort Washington.
What kind of miles were you guys averaging a day?
About what, 5, 6, maybe 8,
Uh-huh.
800.
Yeah.
There were a couple of thousand mile, close 2 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they didn't seem like long stints.
Mhm.
You know, I didn't really track that. We tracked. Man, I just ride until the sun go down and you feel like to the point
Right.
where you're still
Right.
tired.
Right.
You can't. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So in your opinion, gentlemen,
where our goal was to go from Key West to Savannah, from Savannah to
Connecticut, Fort Washington area.
Connecticut, and then from Connecticut we wanted to push all the way to Maine. So we were trying to get to the top of Maine within 3 days from Key West.
right.
Or
Right.
4 days.
Right.
Almost happened.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Now
So we got to Maine. We got to Maine, and Cool Breeze had a flat tire.
twice.
So we plugged Cool Breeze tire, but not even 10 miles down the road after we plugged the tire, the sidewall blew out.
wow.
So that set us back 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then we stayed in Maine an extra night because we had to wait till the dealership opened up the next day.
Gotcha.
So we had some early nights when it started. We had some early Indian nights the first 2 or 3 nights.
Mm-hmm.
So we wasn't doing, but like you say, under 500 miles.
Gotcha.
So starting off, it felt like the trip was just going wrong. You
Mhm.
know, like starting off, it was like, dang, we losing time already. Like, it did feel like those 8 days were getting eaten up right there. You know,
Yeah.
we haven't even made it out of the U.S. on that first leg yet.
Mm-hmm.
But man, once we got rolling, it was on and popping.
What were some of the major highlights of this trip, whether in the States or Canada or Alaska? What were some of the major highlights for you guys?
We had some good times,
I
man.
think
Go ahead.
I think every time we stopped at night, um, if we got a chance to stop early, that's when we started bonding. I've been off this ride probably 2 months, and me and Czar are still texting each other,
Mm-hmm.
calling each other on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And we would stop, meet up, and just eat dinner. Somebody pay for everybody's food, somebody pay for everybody's drink, and we just hang out and bonded. So to me, that made everything good. It's just the forced riding, um, and in my mind, I'm thinking we're trying to make up time, and I kept saying we can't make up the time we missed. All we can do is just carry on from where we are, just keep it moving. But it seemed like we kept trying to go longer and longer and longer to try to catch up to those 4 or 5 hours we spent on side of the road. That ain't gonna happen, Captain.
So if you lose time on a trip, you don't think you can make it up some other way in the trip?
Not
We
without
got to cut
losing
something
something.
out.
You got to
Yeah.
cut something out.
We had to cut some. We had to cut something out. We cut out the what is it, the Eagle Farm, the Eagle Ranch, or something.
The Eagle Reserve over in Alaska.
Yeah. So we cut
And
that
really
out.
cutting that out was just cutting a day out. We cut
Okay.
one day out of the trip, and
Okay.
still finished a week early.
Right.
But I think by that point, everybody was ready to get back to the U.S. You
Yeah.
know, their motivation levels were starting to dwindle a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you saw that Washington State line, it was like ding.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh boy.
sir. Yes,
Well,
sir. Yes, sir.
when we got back to the United States and crossed over into Washington, I had a newfound relief. I was like, oh my God. Hey, I told Frizz and everybody else, y'all can go ahead and leave me. I'm good now. Just let me get out of Alaska,
Yeah.
get back to where I got some service in my internet. I don't need y'all no more. Y'all can go ahead and go.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Let me ride at my own pace, my own distance. I'm good now.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And I want to
sir.
tell you, James Dalton Highway broke our motivation. It broke up the group, split us up, and we just, after we got done with that, we still had to spend, was it 2 days left in Canada getting out of Alaska? Because we had to go through the
3, I
glaciers
believe.
of Canada. That was
Yeah.
horrible.
Wow. So you agree, Big Frizz, that Dalton Highway beat y'all up pretty good?
No.
Motivation.
I'm telling you, I think my experience, like if you hear it from me and Kodak separately, like we had, even though we experienced the same thing, the experience, how we took it, were completely different. I had a
Yeah.
ball, man. I felt I enjoyed riding the road, no matter how raggedy it was.
Yeah.
My thing was really it got to the point where I found myself getting aggravated at Kodak for my expectations of how I felt he should ride. And
Say
once
that
I
one more
realized
time.
it's
Say
like,
that one more
you
time.
gotta I said I got so upset at Kodak
Uh-huh.
for my expectations on
Okay,
how I
gotcha.
felt he should ride.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but we always say like ride your own ride. And anytime you got in a group with somebody to ride somewhere, you going from point A to point B, it's like, hey, this is where we're going. No matter how we go in there, ride your own ride. So
Yeah.
whether that comes with riding your own pace, ride as far as you can go, do whatever is comfortable for you, whatever. My expectations on how I thought Kodak the ground pounder should ride was, one thing. How he actually could ride or what he wanted to do was another thing. And the sooner I found out that we both gonna get to the same place regardless at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let him ride his ride, and let's just get there. Man, the trip became so much easier,
Okay. Okay.
So allowing people to grow and develop maybe to your expectations was one of my biggest lessons on this trip. And I tell you, man, I was super frustrated and aggravated with him. Super
Yeah.
frustrated and aggravated. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when we sit here and we talk, where did we go and who was there and
Right.
who finished?
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. Couple things come to mind, Big Frizz, because you just dropped a bombshell. You said a whole lot. Shout out to Views on Two. He's in the building. He says hashtag maturity. Okay. He said not that sphere and a candid look that he can say that maturity. But we often say ride your ride, right? But if their ride is not conducive to our ride, do we really allow them to ride their ride? In your case, you came to and it made for a much better trip. But you want to talk to me about that?
Yeah, I mean, and there's times where I think you have to allow somebody to ride their ride, right? But at the
Mm-hmm.
same token, it's like rearing your children. You're gonna encourage them to do something because it's within their ability.
Mm-hmm.
And when they fail to do what it is that you're coaching them to do and helping them to do, knowing that they're capable of doing it, at the point that they just negate everything and like, no, break down, I'm not going to do this because it's like a sure don't want, or it's not I can't do it. It's I just don't want. I think that's where we probably would have bumped heads more, but it was him taking it and being like, all right, maybe I can do this. I think I said something to him that sparked something. He had
Come on
mentioned
now.
something at one point in the ride about having all the greats' phone numbers in his phone.
Yeah.
And he kept, like
Got
he
him.
said, he kept talking about K Solo said we should do this or no do this, and it was like, all right, noted. Snack said you should do this or go see this or don't do this, noted, got it. And something happened and he was like, somebody got this number. He was like, man, I got all the greats numbers in my phone. So there was a point in the ride where it came, I think it was just after you dropped the bike or something like that up on the James Dalton Highway. He's like, yeah, if I can get the bike started, I'm just going to turn around and go back to the hotel. I said, after the
I was
bike
defeated.
started, he was defeated. He was, after the bike got started, I said, so what you going to do? You going to go back to the hotel? Or is somebody later on in life going to say they got all the greats phone numbers in their phone and mention your name?
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, that part.
He could ride his own ride, but he had to be pushed to a limit to make him understand, like, hey, you could actually do a little bit more than what you think you're only capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So Kodak, here you are, a ground pounder. You're doing your thing. So are you telling me that we can become set in our own ways and comfortable with what we want to do and overlook what we could do? Is that a true statement?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm a better rider because of this experience. My life had changed totally.
Oh man, hold on one second.
I rode.
That's real talk.
This group of people, this group of Thundercats, pushed me out of my comfort zone, to say the least. Even though we had a meeting, several meetings, and I kept telling myself and Czar, we kept saying, we're gonna stop riding when it get dark. We're gonna ride till it get dark, and we're gonna get the hotel room, we're gonna rest. Even when we was in the meetings, we said, we're not gonna leave Savannah and get to Connecticut before it get dark. We looked at it on the map.
Yeah.
The Thundercats are saying, yeah, we can do it. We can do it. It's only 1,000 miles.
Right.
So if I get a good night's sleep for 2 nights and then I wake up in the morning, I can do 1,000 miles. I proved it on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
But 4 days of getting up in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, riding all day, and you want to do 1,000 miles on the 4th day after you've been beat up? I didn't see it. That to me didn't make sense. So I didn't even. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. In my
Yeah.
mind, I had a mental block in my mind.
Okay.
I can't ride this fast at night after 10 o'clock, and I've been on the bike all day. But they pulled me through.
Okay.
They pulled me through. I was mad as hell the next day, didn't speak to nobody. But they pulled me through.
You had to give him a Snickers, Big Frizz. Was he
Man,
hangry?
listen, he was like a little kid that you told him he couldn't touch the candy jar.
Let me go back to something you said a little while ago, Frizz. You said that you had an expectation of Kodak, and he wasn't. Can you remember exactly how you worded that?
Yeah, I said I got mad at him for what my expectations of how he should ride was.
Okay.
It goes back to meeting different people on the set and how highly or how low somebody talks about somebody until you have that experience with that individual. You don't know them the way that that person knows them. So
Mm-hmm.
it goes back to us throwing that terminology ground pounder. So your definition of a ground pounder may be different from my definition of a ground pounder. So how I see somebody that has that as their name or whatever, I may think that they should be riding at this level or doing this type of things on a bike
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Whereas you may think differently. Maybe okay if they just do this right here, that's a ground pounder. And it's not to say that they're not. It's just your expectation. So
Mm-hmm.
when you hold somebody else to an expectation that was within your mind, uh, you're you're going to leave yourself open for that not discouragement or that upset
Yeah.
you know
Yep.
uh
So Kodak, are we responsible for someone else's perception of our, riding ability or who we are, et cetera, et cetera? Are we responsible for that in any shape, form, or fashion?
You gotta after after I heard them talking about me, we might have been in Fairbanks,
Mm-hmm.
and Frizz was saying it to his guys, saying all Kodak is doing is complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat back and I thought about it, and I said, you know what? He's right. I was complaining. So from that point on, let me stop complaining and just suck it up and drive on, as we say, embrace the suck. Yeah, it sucked, but I wasn't the only one sucking. Yeah, the road was bad, but I wasn't the only one on the road.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm tired. And maybe they was tired, but I was complaining about being tired. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, let me suck it up and drive on. They stopped every time I had to pee. I got prostate issues. I got to pee every, in the evening time. After I drink a soda, something with some caffeine in it, I got to stop
don't
and
hit
pee
no
like
bump.
every
Stop.
20, 30 minutes.
What you say, Big Frizz?
Don't, hey, after he drink that soda in the afternoon, don't hit no bumps or we stopping.
Yeah, 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 yeah. we might have to get him one of the mechanisms or something.
Oh man,
Man,
hey, he got aggravated one day. We got rolling, man. I swear we stopped 5 times within 7 miles.
Wow.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it is what it is. I want to go back to Sarge's statement here. He says the age difference is real. I'm glad you gentlemen worked it out. The older you get, the slower the recovery time is. And that's real talk. You
That's
know?
real talk.
Yeah.
That's coming from an OG that know, because Big Sarge is an OG in his organization,
Yeah.
and he was right with some young Thundercats, and he had to prove to them that he's the OG. But in reality, that recovery is you can't recover till you recover. I
Can't
don't care what
recover till
else
you
you do.
recover.
You can't recover till you recover.
Yeah. 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 That's what's up. That's what's up. So, Kodak, you said one of the highlights for you was, the bonding and things like that. But Big Freaks, I don't know if you really articulated what was one of the big things for you, the big highlights on the trip for you. For you.
Oh, for sure. Definitely the bonding, being able to chop it up with these guys, man, for as long as we did and enjoy the experiences that we did. Uh, the sights were beyond belief. Like, man, there's so many things that we've got pictures and videos of that don't do it justice on video.
Right.
You know, being able to see the sheer size of some of these mountains as you ride by them, and hearing the water rushing through the rivers next to you, next to the road, over the bikes, and just the smell of the fresh air, and just, man, the ride was just beautiful on just so many different levels.
Yeah.
Being able to stop in the afternoons and talk about them, and uh, just unwind and put the road behind you. Like what we just rode through was cool. And now
Yeah,
what are we gonna do tomorrow?
yeah,
I'm wondering
yeah.
what tomorrow's gonna bring. So I mean, the whole ride for me was it was amazing. I loved it, and I do it again, like I said.
If you were to do it again, would you do it with as many people or would you do it with less people?
Uh, I would do it with as many people again.
Okay.
I think the only thing again would be those individuals' riding abilities and understanding from the jump how you're able to move with them. Being able to plan for your slowest rider,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and not being ashamed to be the one to say like, hey, I might be your slowest rider. This is what I can do, and then being able to base your ride off of that. If you knowingly go into it knowing that hey, this is all you're going to be able to do, and you still want to move forward with it, I think you have no problem. But again, if you go into it with an expectation that's greater than what that individual can do, uh, and you never discuss that expectation, or you never, what I'm saying, addressed any of those situations that may have come up or may come up prior to going and embarking on that journey, you may find
Mm-hmm.
yourself completely upset.
Yeah, yeah. And that can make for a long trip.
Long trip.
Yes, sir.
Long.
Yes, sir.
Long, long, long,
So
long trip.
let me ask you guys this, because I mean, again, man, epic ride, man. Regardless of what, me on the outside looking in, watching your updates and your pictures and things like that, I was just like, wow, at all, so how do you top a trip like this? And then I guess the other question is, do you even try to top a trip like this?
Thundercats. Hey, I need to get with Snacks or whoever. I think it was Snacks. She the one that did the Prudhoe Bay to South America joint.
Yep,
Snacks, yeah.
yep, yep,
That's on
yep,
my bucket list. I'm trying to do that
Yeah.
ASAP.
yeah.
Man, if I
Okay.
think about
That'll be
that
But you're gonna do
right
that
now,
on that Pan America though.
I'm Pan
Pan
America though.
America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not taking my street glide across no rivers or nothing like that. I
Yeah,
tried.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's what's up, man. What about you, Kodak?
I do it on Pan America.
Yeah, yeah,
I do
yeah.
it. And see, you got to think about it. We did like four big rides all at once. We did the
Yeah.
Four Corners. We rode the Red Breed. That was an event within itself.
Mm-hmm.
We rode all the way across the 5 provinces of Canada. That was an event within itself. We went into Alaska. That was an event itself. But then
Mm-hmm.
leaving Fairbanks going up, if we broke any one of them off, or broke two of them off and only did one of those,
It's still epic.
it would have been an
Yeah.
epic ride.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do any one of those four things again separately,
Okay.
but I won't do all four of them. I won't do all four of them again at the same time. I won't do
Well,
them all like that again.
okay. That makes good sense. I like what
Yeah.
Outbound and Pavement just said, man. Also, shout out to Keisha Brown. She's in the building. She says, it amazes me how they ride them distance and long hours in a day at them 55 plus ages, built like a machine. And that's true story right there, for real. Because Czar, like you said, 74, and he's still out there making it do what it do. But Outbound and Pavement, he says 1,000 miles a day, 18 hours for 5 days. Everybody becomes your enemy until you get a full night's sleep. Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's crazy. For real though.
Yep. That's
Yes,
true.
indeed. So anything else you guys want to cover about the trip, man, that we missed?
No, man. Shoot, I just encourage anybody to get out there and do something different. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, there's more out there to see, more out there
Mm-hmm.
to do. Uh, we blew through a couple of these places that I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tap individually. I think each one of the
Mm-hmm.
properties that we rode through, we saw something that was worth going back and spending a couple of days in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So I think you can definitely do some epic rides and see some things and not bite off more than you think you can chew. You know, uh, people I think they get bent on the unknown and don't go because of the unknown scares them. Like, how are the roads in Canada? Like, man, Canada's paved roads are like our paved roads here. It's just in Canada, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, if you go to the rural areas of Canada, the backwoods, yeah, you're gonna find some jacked up roads where there
yeah.
be some decent ride factor, yeah, but it's relative to where you're going. So I mean, you could put yourself in the same situation and still be in the lower 48,
Hmm.
you know. But man, there's so much out there to go see. Just go see it.
All right, let me do this. I'm gonna get this answer from I ask you guys both this question. I'm going to start with you, Big Frizz. What words of wisdom, advice, encouragement, or whatever would you give a young, up and coming ground pounder in the motorcycle community? What would you say to them tonight?
Believe you can and go achieve it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Well, that's it. I mean, as corny as that, ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah.
Just if riding is what you like to do, go ride.
Yeah. A lot of times we like doing something, but we get cut down by an OG or somebody else, and it can kind of, it can really stunt you. It can really even, can you remember for your riding experience, someone who said the right thing and pushed you into your greatness?
Mm.
Mm.
On this trip,
No, I mean just overall.
period.
Yeah.
I'd have to probably come back to you on that one. I had to think. I don't know if there's anything that uh, I don't want to sound like big headed or nothing, but man, I love to ride.
Mm-hmm.
So there's very little you have to do to encourage me to go twist my throttle to go anywhere. Uh, if you tell me the road glide could float for 25 miles on the water or whatever, and then you got to hit some type of land, I try it out. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like I'll ride. I'm down. Hey, I'll ride. So there's very little encouragement I got to get to actually get out there on that bike and try something.
Okay,
You know,
okay. My wife is watching tonight. She says, "I love the way you guys can still be friends and laugh about it and be respectful. That when you have to ride with the right people on these long trips, hats off to you guys."
for
So yeah,
sure.
that part right there for real. So Big Frizz. So your next ride might include you riding across a body of water.
It won't be on a road glide.
Kodak, what
It'll be
about
a
you, big
little body
dog?
of water. You're gonna start
Yeah,
with streams and stuff,
yeah.
you know.
Okay, start with some streams. Start
Shallow
small. Start small.
rivers.
Work your way up there. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, shallow rivers.
yeah. Kodak, what would be the words of advice, inspiration, or what would you say to an up and coming ground pounder that's watching tonight?
You gotta have, and this goes back to the other question you asked. Um, you gotta have good support. Gotta have a
Mm-hmm.
good support system.
Okay.
Um, friends them have roads everywhere we stop. People calling on the phone, and I would be remiss not to thank God first, and you, my spiritual advisor, for encouraging me every day you call. But my wife is at the house managing everything, putting money in my pocket,
Come on
putting
now.
money in my card. I got a lot of money on Cash App, and I spent that on the gas tank. But my wife would call and say, "Hey, you got charged twice for this hotel room." She's watching the financing while we was on
Yeah.
the road. Um, and I didn't have my music on. I got a stock roll glide with no music. You couldn't hear the speakers anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I normally don't play my music until maybe we pull up or maybe at the end of the night. So those long days, it was just me and the Lord talking.
Mm-hmm.
I was just praying. I told somebody the other day, I called on the name of Lord so much he got tired of hearing me call his name. Lord, please don't let me drop my bike in this mud. Lord, please let me stay awake. Um, so I couldn't have done it without having mental strength and mental ability, but to what your wife said about us still being friends. I've since officially adopted Frizz as one of my sons. Frizz is
Mm-hmm.
like he's reached the status in my life where I can't tell him no.
Mm-hmm.
We on that level right now. If you call me right now, him, Czar, uh, what's his name, laid back, PJ, um, even the dude I don't like, what's his name,
Cool
Cool
breeze.
Breeze. All of them is all of them is my bros. If they call me right now, I'm coming. I can. It's like my little ugly brother, the little ugly one.
Yeah.
At any point in time, I can go over his house and say, "I need this." He gonna give it to me.
Yeah.
At any time, if he asks me for something, I gotta give it to him. I'm not going. I called Frizz to come to my house because he got a roofing company,
Uh-huh.
and I said, "I need your advice. I got a leak on my roof, and I need to know if I need to call the roofer that put it on, if I need to call my homeowner's insurance,
Uh-huh.
or if I need to call USA and make a claim." Chris came in. He looked. First, I called him. He came the next day. That's
Mm-hmm.
one. Two, he went out there, assessed everything, jumped on top of the roof, tore everything apart, looked at it, and I said, "I need your advice. Who should I call?" He said, "Don't call nobody." He said the deductible is going to be more than the cost to fix it. I
Mm-hmm.
looked at him. I said, "I trust you. Whatever it is, whatever he tell me, I'm gonna believe that guy because he proved himself worthy of me." You can't say nothing bad about Frizz.
That part. That part right
I,
there.
I don't like him, but I respect it.
Hey, you ain't gotta like them to love them though.
Yes.
You ain't gotta like him to love him.
You know what
You
I
ain't
mean?
gotta. That's my guy. That's my guy. I don't care what you say.
So that's what's up. Big Frizz, here's what I need from you, bro. I need to get your roofing information, your company, so we can get you a little commercial so I can put it in my rotation here on the Retro Philosophy Show.
For sure, for sure,
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
so put
Shoot.
something together for me, you know what I mean, and get it over to me and we'll put it in rotation.
Bet.
Yeah. I see you out there doing your thing. I see me be up there on the roof with that camera and everything.
Yeah, I'll be up there. I'll be up there. Little
Yes, sir.
stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, it's been
Vertex
real,
Roofing, the
man.
best.
Say it again.
I said Vertex Roofing and Restoration. We the best. We your
All
top
right.
choice.
There you go. There you go. So since you were on that, let the folks know a little bit more about your company, just in case they got a shingle that's loose or whatever. How can they reach out to your company? How can they get in touch with you?
Oh man, you can hit me directly at 910-446-3143. You can go online to www.vertexrr.com. See that logo right there? That's me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see how it's strategically placed back there, as it should
You
be.
like that, right? You like
As
that?
it
This is
should
my
be.
home
As it
wall.
should be. Yes, sir.
Hey, I,
Oh,
I, I
wrong
can
side,
testify to that. I got a brand new deck in the backyard. My wife wanted the deck for years.
Uh-huh.
Uh, she finally nagged me enough to the point where I started getting estimates. I got 3 estimates, and one day I was at my brother's house, and I seen Frizz pull up in that truck, and
Mm-hmm.
I said, "You do restoration too?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Can you do decks?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, come give me an estimate." Out of 4 people that came and gave me an estimate, Frizz got down on the ground, low crawled underneath my deck, looked at everything, tapped everything. He said, "I can fix it." His price wasn't the cheapest, but I can tell that he was the most thorough because he got up, he counted all the wood, counted everything that needed to be replaced. I said, "Oh, this dude's the expert." From
You
that point on, I knew he was expert.
you know what they call that, Kodak? That's that
What's that?
Thundercat energy. That's that Thundercat energy. Get down and get up underneath
Mhm.
there, you know? It ain't just on the bike.
Thundercat all day long.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, man, I'm going to respect you guys' time. I'll talk for another 30, 40 minutes or whatever. But I know Frizz got to get up on some roofs in the morning and stuff like that. I'm not sure what Kodak got to do in the morning. You chilling, you chilling, you chilling. Um, Also, I want to give you two a shout out, man, because you guys have been supporting me with the Mission 448, knocking out Kodak, got the NC4 corners underneath his belt. Big Frizz, he just, true Thundercat form, he got North Carolina, turn around next week, did Virginia, and talking about doing a few more. So we want to make some noise for you guys, man, for supporting us in that endeavor. We want to say good night to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. People like Hero Benson, Shelly, Keisha Brown, Dwayne Wilkins, Low Key. What's going on, Low Key? We saw Low Key in the building. He said, "What's up, soldiers?" And thank you guys for sharing your trip, man. Anything else you guys want to share with us tonight?
Mm, God is good. Worthy to be praised.
Yes, he is indeed. He is
That part.
indeed. All right.
No, I appreciate you. Like I said before, Retro man, I appreciate you and everything that you're doing over there. I love supporting you guys. I think the one thing I would ask of you, if it's not already done, is do you have a link for all of your rides that you have uh, for those four corners to be able to go to like a website, just pick out the one that you want to do so you can see those routes. People can pre-plan the
I'm
routes.
working on some things. We're trying to actually, what we're trying to do is, I'm trying to come up with one form that could suffice for all of them, you know.
Right.
So some of the corners we still have to finish mapping out. But if you give me a little bit of time, I will get that to you because we want to make it a top-notch program, and that way it'll be easy to get in there and do your thing.
Yeah, because when I was looking for which ride I wanted to do next, I was like, oh, I should do another state four corners. All right,
Yeah.
so I went to your page and I was like, all right, well, where's the information for that? So
Yeah.
I'm scrolling all the way back through your timeline to try to find
Okay.
posted, you know, saying their ride. So I had the link. That's when I was like, oh, I got the brother's number. Let me just text him.
Yeah.
The next corner, so.
Say
Yeah.
less. My wife is watching, so trust and believe. She gonna remind me and make sure, hey, babe, get that done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Just
we get that for
a
you.
little page to the side where click that and it got all your links on the side.
Yeah.
Pick a ride.
That part right there. All right, so we'll work on that, man. Kodak, anything we can do for you, big dog?
Hey, life is good. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep hitting those streets, Pastor Retro. You never know what Pastor Retro is going to show up. And, he's more than just my spiritual advisor, somebody I can relate to. Always on the ground with him and his beautiful wife, always getting it in. He snuck up on me on my way back home.
Sure did.
Hey, truth be told, I had a bunch of people saying I'm going to ride back in with you.
Uh-huh.
I had a few people saying I'm gonna ride back in with you, but I was shocked for this long till I seen that mustache on the helmet. I said, I know who that is.
Hey, my old girl was down, so I had to steal the wife's bike and catch you. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I was gonna catch you way before you got to where you was. But that old fat boy ain't the same as that road glide.
I got you. Good deal. Good deal, my friend.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, fellas, man. Keep on doing what you guys doing, man, because you guys are making a difference, man. So we appreciate you, man. All right, man. We'll be in touch with you guys, man. As a matter of fact, hang out in the green room, man. Let me shut this down and we'll holler at you guys real quick, okay?
Cool beans.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, you already know what it is. It's your boy Retro, Kodak the Ground Pounder, Big Frizz, aka Thundercat, in the building, making it do what it do, sharing their experience on the epic ride that they did, not just the four corners of the United States, but they went all the way across Canada, up into Alaska, and persevered. You know, see, it's one thing to get out there and ground pound. It's one thing to get out there and ride from here to there. But how do you handle breakdowns? And I'm not just talking about mechanical breakdowns, but how do you handle things when it doesn't go the way you want it to go? Do you press through it? Do you get mad and go your separate way? Or do you remain the man or the woman that you're supposed to be and walk in integrity? We're not always going to see eye to eye. And sometimes we will get upset. The Bible says, be angry, but sin not. And so we want to thank these gentlemen for coming on the show tonight, being transparent and sharing some stuff that some people may not would have been willing to share. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you know you are amongst a real individual. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. C1's in the building. He says, great show. Thank you so much. Look at, man, we're going to get out of here, man, and we will see you guys real soon. G. Williams, what's going on, my man? What's going on with you? Hey, check it out, man. Retro's radar is in full swing. All right, so I'll be coming through an area near you, and you never know, man. I might snag you with the GoPro, and you'll be on the Retro's radar. Yeah. So keep it locked and don't you dare touch that dial, man. I'm gonna get out of here. We'll see you guys bright and early in the morning for a little bit of morning inspiration. All right. God bless you and heaven smile on you. we out of here. Let me see how we're gonna take you guys out tonight. Well, we'll start with this right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Retro Philosophy Show, where I always listen to my man 50 Grand, Pastor Retro. You know what it is.
It's your boy Retro. I'm actually privileged to be down here at Rare Breed Clubhouse in Fayetteville with my man Big Frizz and his beautiful wife. And so on behalf of Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, we wanted to present both of them with their pad for the NC Four Corners ride. They knocked that joint out officially. And so we appreciate y'all, ma'am. Appreciate you, okay? The backseat miles matter. They matter.
Backseat miles.
So if you want to hit up the four corners of North Carolina or whatever state it is, make sure you get at your boy Retro. We'll get you in touch with the right registration for the state that you want to do, and the rest will be history, man. So Big Frizz, man, appreciate you, boss.
I appreciate you. Sure. Another one next week.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right.
Green, trying to get them all.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
of them.
sir.
All of them.
Mission 448.
All right.
Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and let your folks know the Retro Philosophy Show is on.